What up, everybody? This is Jason, and I haven't done a video in forever. But I went to a pawn shop down the road from my house yesterday, and I picked up all these Blu-rays, mostly DVDs, for $10.60 with tax. So I would say 2/3 of them are still sealed. I was shocked, so I was like, all right, I will go ahead and purchase these. So again, nothing crazy, I don't think, in this lot, but I thought, you know, for $10, some of the stuff I haven't seen before, other stuff I just want it for my collection. Just kind of expand a couple areas or some weak areas in my collection. And some of it just because I wanted to have it because it's sealed, and maybe I'll open it, maybe I won't. First up is a sealed copy of Dirty Harry. This is the Dirty Harry Collection 2-disc special edition. Like I said, it's still sealed, never been opened. Tons of special features. And I can't remember what everything has been ported over to other releases, Blu-rays, 4Ks, or whatever. So I'm not going to try to go through all that. But as you can see here, it is the way the light's hitting it. But anyways, this is the Dirty Harry Collection 2-disc set. Not collection, but the film itself. So anyway, so there is that. Next up is a sealed copy of Full Metal Jacket, the Stanley Kubrick collection, digitally restored and remastered. Not any special features, unfortunately, but again, when you can find this for 50 cents, essentially, still sealed, I'll do it all the time. This is probably one of my favorite Kubrick movies, honestly. But anyways, I did not have this, and actually, I didn't have it in any form. Of course, I've seen it, over the years, but did not have it. So, want to get that. Next up was really cool. Now, this has been opened, but I looked at all the discs. There's 4 discs in here, but I couldn't believe it. Like, they were in perfect condition. And it is TMC Turner Classic Movies, The Greatest Classic Legends, and it is all of Humphrey Bogart. So you have They Drive by Night, Across the Pacific, Action in the North Atlantic, and Passage to Marseille, I think that's how you pronounce it. It comes with a slipcover, which is really cool. So the slipcover, and then all 4 discs are inside here. That's the only problem. One of the discs has some light scratches on it, but again, for 50 cents, I will take a chance because all the other one look immaculate. But I have to be honest, I have never seen, to my knowledge, a Humphrey Bogart movie. And I thought this was a perfect opportunity because it's 50 cents. So it's, crazy cheap. It's less than 10 cents a movie, right? Or it was a little bit over 10. Hold on, wait. 50 cents, so 10, 20, 30, 40. So right, yeah, it's just unbelievable. So anyways, I'll do it all day long, right? So there it is. There's a couple of these Across the Pacific. I'm not for sure a lot about that, but I wanted to see that one because I think it's a John Huston movie, if I'm not mistaken. And then They Drive by Night has Ida Lupino, and I think wasn't she in the Spanish version or the Mexican version of Dracula in 1933? Dracula. She plays the Mina Harker, or I think she plays the love interest for Dracula. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say those are. So there's quite a few different connections to other movies and other stars I want to see. So anyways, enough about that. Next up was, I got this because it was sealed. They had a couple of different versions of this movie. I guess somebody got rid of all their variations of this movie. But I got it because it was still sealed, and it's Boys in the Hood, along with Bad Boy or Baby Boy, which I have never seen, and not really something probably I'm really that interested in, to be honest. I'm not a big Tyrese fan or Snoop Dogg fan, but Ving Rhames I like. But John Singleton directed this too. Now that John Singleton, I know he directed it, maybe I will give it a shot. So anyways, Boys in the Hood, I mean, it's a movie I grew up with in the 90s. I don't know exactly when it came out in the 90s. I want to say like 94, maybe 93. It shows here maybe 91 or 92 actually. So there you go. So there you have it. But anyways, I hadn't seen this movie forever. Again, get it for still sealed, never been opened. Grab it. Now this is the thing that caught my eye initially when I walked by and saw they had a whole bunch of stuff for a lot of things I hadn't seen in a while that were for sale for like next month. I got this for 50 cents, guys. It's so exciting. It is the Sci-Fi Ultimate Collection Volume 2 with the slipcover. You have Dr. Cyclops, Cult of the Cobra, The Land of the Unknown, The Deadly Mantis, and The Leech Woman. I was so shocked when they had this there because, again, this is a lot of these movies also supposedly have widescreen options. So some of them are in full frame, some of them are widescreen. So we can open this up. So as you can see here, the cover to kind of go with this. And then you have all the movies. So yes. Super pumped about this. I've always wanted to get this collection because I just like the box, to be honest. It's very colorful. Has like a real 50s kind of retro vibe. I just like it a lot. I have seen the Deadly Mantis, and I believe I've seen the Leech Woman, but it's been forever. And so I had not seen the other movie. Cult of the Cobra, I don't believe I've ever seen. Dr. Cyclops, never seen. And The Land of Unknown doesn't sound familiar. So if I've seen it, it didn't stick with me. But anyways, guys, for again, 50 cents. I know I'm going to say that like 100 times, but it is what it is. Next up is a movie that's kind of was a blind spot. It came out when I was in high school. I believe it came out like the mid-90s. I want to say like 97 or 8 maybe even 1999. It is the movie Go. I have the soundtrack. The soundtrack's such a 90s soundtrack. It's an amazing soundtrack. But you have, I'm not for sure all the people in this movie, but they're very recognizable names. So let's hit some of the people here. You have Taye Diggs, William Fichtner, that's William Fichtner. He's in lots of stuff I really like. I like him a lot. And then Katie Holmes, Breckin Meyer, Jay Moore, Timothy Olyphant, Sarah Polley. Oh, that must be Sarah Polley. I didn't realize that. Scott Wolf. So there you go. Doug Liman directed. So there's quite a few like 90s darlings in here. So Sarah Polley, she's the one who did Dawn of the Dead remake, now that I'm looking at her. Yeah, she looks totally different in this. But I got the soundtrack on a whim years ago at at Goodwill for, again, 50 cents or a quarter, something. And I'm like, this soundtrack's great. Never saw the movie. I think it came out right at the end of my high school time, because I graduated like 98, and if this came out in 99, I would have just kind of missed it as far as maybe being more of a high school related movie. But anyway, so definitely looking forward to seeing this. It says it's a razor sharp dark comedy, son of Pulp Fiction. So there you go. Equate itself to Pulp Fiction, which Pulp Fiction came out in 94. So, we'll see what that is like. It says from the producer or the director of Swingers. Hold on, wait. The director of Swingers, Go. Life begins at 3 a.m. Next up is a 2-film collection of hashtag Johnny Depp, Team Johnny, Black Mass and Blow. I've seen Black Mass. I saw Black Mass in the theater, when it came out 5 years ago or whatever. I liked that movie a lot. I believe he plays like the Whitey Bulger, James Whitey Bulger, right? And then Blow, honestly, it's one of those ones. It's another kind of blind spot in my collection. I've never seen, or my watching, I've never seen Blow. I've heard good things about it. Never saw it. Just like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Shh, don't tell anybody. Never seen it. Movies where it involves lots of heavily on the drug type, movies. I'm not a huge fan of stuff like that. It's a personal thing. Like one of the only movies I ever watched and I really like it, and it had definitely a lot of like hallucination, like you feel like you're like on drugs, is Natural Born Killers, the Oliver Stone movie. After watching that movie, you felt like you were on drugs because it's so like out of this world. But anyways, and maybe Blow is not that trippy, whereas I know Fear and Loathing is supposedly much more like that. So but I haven't seen it. Again, sealed. So we'll do that. This one I came across again. It had so many special features, and I just thought it was a cool option. It came from outer space. So this person, whoever must have went to the pawn shop recently, must have got rid of all their sci-fi collection, because I picked up another one or two more of sci-fi movies that are going to be shown here, plus that sci-fi collection, that big one I had, the sci-fi ultimate collection, and then this one. But here it has some DVD exclusives, a commentary track, a documentary. So yeah, I mean, again, I'm trying to see if there's anybody on here. Ray Bradbury wrote the story, which is cool. Jack Arnold directed. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This came out in 1953. And apparently it's in black and white, even though it shows color here. It's actually in black and white. So I'll probably, movies like this, I don't know how much I actually will watch the movie per se. I probably have it in the background. What I usually do when I get movies like this is I put the commentary on, and then I watch the commentary so I can watch the movie, but I'm really learning something from the film, because a lot of times these movies, in my opinion, are not the greatest movies to like watch, like what, the 9 years, almost 70 years later, right? So, I'm not for sure if I would go back and watch it and like just sit there like, oh, let it wash over me. But the commentary track would be cool. Next up, this one was, I could not believe I found this. Steel Sealed. And it's a movie I never heard of. I'm sure other people know all about it. But it is called Trouble Along the Way, starring John Wayne. So you have John Wayne, Donna Reed, Charles Corburn, and Sherry Jackson, directed by Michael Curtiz. And this has a vintage comedy short by Joe McDokes. And there's a cartoon also on this one, but I've never seen this. This is delightful dialogue, a scoring entertainment. Wild Wayne and Wonderful All the Way. I've never heard of this movie. I mean, he's a quasi-youngish in this movie. I did not know he did a movie with Donna Reed. Of course, Donna Reed's very famous for her TV shows. Donna Reed, the Donna Reed Show, right? But when I saw this, again, not ever open, 50 cents. Yes, I want to check that out. I'm a big John Wayne fan thanks to my pops. My dad got me into John Wayne movies when I was a kid. The next up is The Crawling Eye from Image Entertainment. This is also a black and white movie, though it looks like it's color on the image here, on the cover. But I have never seen the Crawling Eye, but it's always referenced in so many movies. So many people talk about it as like your typical 50s, I believe 50s. Just quintessential 50s like monster type movies or science fiction, run amok type stuff. But I had never seen it before. So 1958. So yeah, there we go. So yeah, don't know much about it. I wanted to see it, and again, I keep saying this, I feel bad, but for the price I got it for, I can't say anything. But yes. It says, features a pristine new film-to-video transfer from the original source material. Starring Forrest Tucker, Janet Monroe, and Lawrence Payne. I wonder if we're related. All right. The next one is just purely, again, sealed, 50 cents. I like these movies. It's been a long time since I've seen them. Meet the Fockers. Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, and then Little Fockers. Everything about these movies I remember thinking was so hilarious. I laughed so much. Ben Stiller kind of like came into his own with these movies. He was already kind of, his star was already rising. But these movies, especially that first one, Meet the Parents, really took it to the next level, where he started doing, everything he wanted to do. He started directing more. He started starring in a lot more movies. He had a lot more, sway in Hollywood. And I think Meet the Parents was like kind of like the catalyst for that. I mean, you got De Niro in here. You have Dustin Hoffman, Barbra Streisand. It's a who's who of some comedic legends there. Next up is another kind of De Niro film. Now, shockingly, I didn't even think about this. And it's a double feature, still sealed. It is Grudge Match and Bullet to the Head, double feature. Both of these come with deleted scenes and special features. choreography of the movies. So I've seen Grudge Match. I mean, you know, for nostalgia, like walking down memory lane to kind of have Raging Bull and Rocky in the same movie, I guess it's okay. I mean, you know, it's, again, for me, I'm not getting it because it's like a masterpiece. I'm getting it because essentially it's a quarter, right? I got the whole thing for 50 cents. So Bull in the Head's a quarter, the Grudge Match is a quarter. So this is enough for me. I don't need Blu-ray, I don't need 4K, I don't need some special collector's edition, if that even is a thing. But getting both of them on DVD, that works. Next up, this had all these, like, some little girl must have put on, like, all these, like, little rainbow stickers and, like, little, like, mermaid stickers and all over this slipcover inside on the Blu-rays, on the DVDs. And so, but I got this for the Blu-rays were $2 a piece. So I got Rampage, based off the 80s video game Rampage, which when I first saw the movie, I didn't know that's what it was. And I'm like, that sounds like the video game from the 80s I used to play, or like the early 90s. And then when I started watching, I'm like, hold on, wait. That is the game. Like, what's going on here? It's a big, dumb movie, but I liked it. I don't know what people were expecting. I think it kind of got crapped on by a lot of people, but, you know, you have The Rock in here. You also have, what is his name? I feel terrible. You have Negan. Shoot, what is his real name? I feel terrible. What is his real name on here? Naomi Harris, she's the other one. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, there we go. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I thought the special effects looked awesome. I mean, the grill looked amazing. I thought the grill looked great. You know, the wolf was kind of silly, and because it starts flying and stuff somewhere in the middle of the movie, I guess. The crocodile looked great or whatnot. So yeah, I thought it was a fun movie, a great big monster kaiju battle, kind of like a Pacific Rim, Godzilla, King Kong type vibe. If you like all those movies, it's the same thing. I mean, the premise is ridiculous, I understand, but I don't really care. If it's a good, just action movie, there's stuff happening, you have a little bit of an investment on what happens with the characters. You know, they established the I can't remember, I think it's George, I believe is the gorilla's name. I can't remember exactly, but, you know, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's supposed to be like a zoologist or some kind of like zookeeper or something, I don't know. But they establish a connection. They're like, you know, the pals or buddies. And they right at the beginning of the movie, they're like, you know, he's signing to George, and George is signing back, and they're having this, like, you know, they bond. They're like friends, right? And I don't know, it works for me. It worked for me. Like Planet of the Apes, right? I mean, well, Planet of the Apes, where the apes are talking, like literally. Here, it's essentially the same thing. And I mean, not to spoil the movie, but it's been out for like 5 or 6 years. Essentially, George can talk, which you find out at the very end. He can talk, and he understands everything, apparently. But he used sign language mostly, because that's how they communicate. But with the serum that they all get these animals injected with, or they breathe in, or whatever it is, it gives them the ability now to talk or whatever. So anyways, it's a good movie. I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to convince you all, because I already like it. But for people who kind of overlook this movie, if you're just looking for a big monster movie, all day long. And this is the creme de la creme, the bellissimo. This was a Japanese release of a Sam Peckinpah film, and somehow it ended up in north central Indiana at a pawn shop. When I saw this, I was like, hold on, wait, that looks like it's in Japanese. And I looked back, I'm like, yep, that's Japanese. It is the Sam Peckinpah film, Cross of Iron. So right here, and I saw this, and I'm like, well, that looks like it's Nihongo, Japanese. And I flipped it over, and sure enough, it's all Japanese right there, all Nihongo. Nah, Bikrishta, nah. I could not believe I saw this here. And it says it's Region 2 or whatever, locked Region 2 or, you know, whatever it is for Blu-rays B or C or A. But I put it in my locked Blu-ray player and it plays. Because I was like, you know what, for $2, I'll roll the dice. If it doesn't play, it's still a cool cover, cool DVD or Blu-ray. Oh, the Blu-ray's in my player. But I was like, I'll take a chance for $2, even if it's not, it'll just be cool, like, you know, cover art, right? But yeah, it works fine. I played it. It looks beautiful on my big screen TV there. But yeah, I never seen this movie. I believe, I could be wrong. I don't know much about it. I don't know if it's if it's readily available in America. If it is, like what variations? Is it DVDs or Blu-rays or their 4Ks? Is it in a collector's edition? I really don't know. I've never seen the movie before. And when I pull this up on eBay, just because I want to know, not because I'm going to resell it, because I'm keeping it, but some people had it from anywhere between $30 to $60 to sell. So I'm not for sure if it's rare. If it's rare because it's Japanese, is it rare because the movie's not being created anymore? I'm not for sure, or that's just somebody's pipe dream. They wish they were selling it for $60. I'm not for sure. So I'm not trying to say this is $60 100%. But it'd be cool if it was, because then it's, something, a little bit pricey, and I got for $2. So anyways, it has James Coburn, Maximilian Schnell, James Mason, David Warner, and Senta Berger. And I really don't know much about it, but it looks like it's the Germans versus the Russians, maybe? I watched the first few minutes of it. It looks like there was a lot of Stalin and Hitler in the opening scenes. So I'm assuming some of these guys are playing Russians and some are playing Germans. Again, I don't know much about it, but it looks like that's what it's going towards. It's a Sam Peckinpah movie, and again, it's called Cross of Iron. So maybe you all know more about it than I do. But anyways, guys, that was my whole shebang for $10.60. Let me know how you all think I did. What were some of the highlights for you? What were some of the lowlights for you? Do you agree with some of my assessments or no? Tell me it below in the comments if you could. And until next time, thanks for watching. Peace.